in our last lesson, we were looking at number formatting, and we went through the resource which I've posted, which is in the online learning system. And we went through some worked examples in case you were not here. It was quite straightforward and quite easy, and I left you in a position where you could quite easily work on formatting a numbers worksheet, which is the first part of our assignment. And today we want to learn about formatting text, and what we want to cover is formatting text, changing font, changing the font size, using bold and italics, using underlining text, font color, rotating text, and text wrapping and cell alignment. I did share the file with you, which we want to use in today's lesson. Okay. And the name of the file that we want to be working on is called format text. Okay. So what I want to just do very quickly is just to open that file. I'd already shared it with you on the WhatsApp group so that you have it available. The file name of the file is format text. I've already shared this with you, and that is the file that we want to use for our lesson. Okay, so basically what we want to do is we want to cover a couple of skills that help us to know how to format text and to make certain changes to a document. So I'm going to open the textbook, right? And basically the introduction or the concepts that we are wanting to cover here is you can format cells to change the way the text appears in a worksheet, and formatting does not change the value or the underlying value of a cell, but it can improve the overall appearance of a worksheet. And then you can apply formats to a cell before or after you enter data. And formatting can be applied to one cell, a range of cells or columns or rows, or even to the entire worksheet. Okay. And text alignment controls how to line up text within a cell, and you can use the control or home tab to work on cell alignment. And cell alignment refers to how the text interacts with available space in the cell. Then orientation refers to the direction of the text, which normally runs horizontally from left to right, which is the default setting. But you can edit this by using the orientation button on the home tab, and then this allows you to use vertical or slanted text so that the labels in the heading can take up less space horizontally. So these are the things that we want to look at. So we will start with changing the font. Okay. And Calibri font size 11 is the default. When we say default, basically it's what is available before you make changes to it. So if we look here and the format text document is this Calibri 11. When you open your worksheet, that is what it is. But you can obviously change it, or we can obviously change it if we so wish. Okay. So first thing we want to do is we've been asked to select cells A1 and A2. We've done selection of cells before, and we are being asked to select Arial black. Okay, so what I will ask is I'm going to demonstrate, but the best way that you can learn Microsoft Excel and improve in it is if you do it yourself. So I've selected the two cells, A1 and A2, using the techniques we covered in previous lessons. And I've been asked to change the font to Arial black. So there are many different options of font. So all I do is just go to the font group, which is over here, and I've selected it and I've changed it to Arial black. So just for me to be sure that we are on the same page and that you have no issues with your software and that you can follow along, I will ask you to quickly do the first exercise that I've demonstrated. This is just class activity. This is a class activity because that helps me to see that what we've covered, you will also be able to do the same. So I'd like you very quickly to open the formatting text file, and I would like you to select cells A1 and A2, and I want you to select Arial Black, and I'll ask you to just send me a screenshot onto our WhatsApp group so that I can see that we are making progress. Was I sharing my screen or not?
Also, you weren't.
I was, yeah.
That's why I was also a little bit confused.
So let me redo that. Please, I will sometimes stop sharing my screen because maybe I don't want to distract you because I'm doing other things on the same computer. So let me quickly re-explain what I've just done. And if something you're not following, just tell me, sir, you are not sharing your screen. So I'm going to quickly go through the 3 things or 4 things that I was explaining. So let me quickly go to just redo that. So we want to look at bold and italics. So let's go through changing font size. Okay, we've covered the first section, which is changing the font. So let's quickly look at changing the font size. Please confirm that you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
So changing the font, I've been asked to select cells A4 through to G4 and select and change it to 11. Okay, so what I can do is I can just redo some of these, undo some of the things that I've done. Okay, right, good. So I think the first thing I did was I changed the font size here to Arial Black by going to the font group. So then the next part of the assignment that is being asked is to change the font size. So I've been asked to select A4 through to G4. So I use the selection techniques I've done before, A4 to G4, and I go to the font group, and to change the font size, I click on the numbers there. There's a little down arrow, and then I'm been asked to select and change that to 14. So that is how you change the font size. Okay. Let's look at the next one. I now need to change text, or I can also change text to bold and italic. And here, the selected range of cells which I'm being asked to select on page 81, it's A4 through to G4. Okay. And I need to make that cell range bold. So A4 through to G4. Okay. A4 through to G4. I was meant to also make this cell 14 as well. I think I hadn't selected it. So let me reselect A4 through to G4. To make it bold, I go to the font group, and then there is a letter B there. And if I click on it, the text becomes bold. Then the next part is to make it, is to select another range of cells, I think, and make them italics. A5 through to A9, I'm asked to italicize. You may sometimes hear it being mentioned as italicize or to add the italics. So A5 through to A9. I select A5 down to A9, and then to italicize it, to add italics, I click on the letter I, and then you'll notice the font changes slightly. Just makes it look a little bit fancy-ish. Okay. Underlining text, B10 through to F10. You click on the capital letter U that has got a line under it. So I'll select B10 to F10. There is B10. Select to F10, and to underline, there is the underline button there, and you'll notice now in those texts there is a line underneath. Okay, as you can see, I'm sure as you can see, none of the things that I'm doing is difficult. And then I was explaining the red color, and I've been asked to select cell range A1 and A2, and then to add red accent darker 50%. So I will select that cell range, A1 and A2. To add color, to change the color, I go to colors, still under the font group. Then the color red is over here. And each of these, that is red accent 2. So it's a type of a red that you can see there. And if I go down, there are different options. There is red accent 2, lighter 80%. I've been asked to select red accent darker 50%, which is the one that's right at the bottom of that group there. And if I click on it, my headings become that red accent darker 50%. Okay. Then rotating text was the next one, and I've been asked to rotate the text in cells A4 through to G4. Again, I'll demonstrate. So you should also go through the textbook and make sure that you can do all these things. Then to rotate the cell in the alignment group, there is a little arrow there, and I've been asked to rotate it so that it's counterclockwise at an angle. So I select the first option from there, and you will notice that my text has now been rotated. Again, some of these things that we are doing can make your document look a little bit fancier. Okay, so that's it. Wrapping text I had read through, and I'll read through again so that it's clear. When entering text into a cell that is too narrow, the text will flow into the next cell, okay, or it doesn't display completely in a cell. So if to display the entire cell entry, you can adjust the column width, or you can make the text wrap within a cell. Wrapping text makes the text flow down within a cell instead of flowing to the next cell. So that's what I want to quickly show here. We want to wrap the text that is in cell A1. So if I click on cell A1 and then I select the option here, wrap text, you will notice that in cell A1, it says Infinity Trade Incorporated. So if I click on wrap text, the text Infinity Trade Incorporated now all appears in one cell. And now it wraps in there and it's all in one cell and you can read all the text. Okay. And then cell alignment, you can align it center, align left, align right. Okay. If I select cells A4 through to G4, I can align them to the center like that. And that's it. Okay. So I've taken a little bit longer because I needed to just re-explain that. So in future, please do just let me know if I'm sharing a concept. Let me know. I need to share my screen sometimes, you know, with these networks. There might be some hiccups. Just let me know if I'm explaining something, but you can't see my screen, because you just need to see these demonstrations clearly. Okay, so are there any other questions? Otherwise, we are done for today's lesson, and you should be ready to do the assignment, and you should be ready for the test that you will write next week.